4 months after Hurricane Michael, hundreds of people across the Florida Panhandle remain homeless, taking shelter in tents and temporary FEMA trailers. The federal agency in charge of disaster response has already set up nearly 500 of the trailers in makeshift communities across Panama City. But they're only a temporary solution. Now Nightside's Bo Zimmer and photojournalist Angela Clooney return to Panama City for an update on the recovery and how some of Florida's most vulnerable families are coping.
Panama City, a town recovering, but badly scarred.
You look at it, while you're driving down the road, and it's almost like something you see in a movie, where a couple of bombs went off in the community,
Everywhere you look, signs of destruction. Many hotels and restaurants remain closed. Entire apartment complexes condemned.
This is where we lived at.
Chris Brockman and his family rode out Hurricane Michael in their Panama City apartment complex.
And I remember the sound of the back wall back there and that ceiling coming in and the whole wall just shaking, and it just sounded like people were on the other side of the wall just trying their best to get their way in your house. It was just, I'll never forget that sound.
The ceiling came down in our bedrooms and the roof came off, and we didn't have any shelter. It was exposed.
This left you homeless.
It did. It did leave us homeless. It left us to where we were, well, what are we gonna do now?
I don't really have homework.
Chris, his wife Holly, their 2 daughters, Kaylee and Katie, and the family dog Daisy were forced out of their 1,000-square-foot apartment and are now squeezing into this tiny travel trailer provided by FEMA. Just 150 square feet of space for the entire family.
Trying to stay out of everybody's way while we're inside, because when one person needs to walk in there, to go to one side, we got to move out of the way so they can get through.
It's not ideal, but the Brockmans feel fortunate to have this. They've met others still waiting.
We've had people pull up and ask us, hey, how do we get into these trailers? We're living in our car. There's so many people that's still sleeping on their cars and the tents. It's bad.
The Brockmans are just one of 46 families living in this temporary housing complex. FEMA is in the process of setting up similar camper communities across Panama City to meet the needs of those who lost everything.
But with so much destruction and so many homes gone, housing, especially the affordable kind, is in short supply, leaving some still homeless.
Makes me want to bring them in here, and say, okay, I ain't got much room, man, but shoot, it's better than you sleeping in a car.
For many, it's not just the loss of their personal possessions, it's the destruction of entire neighborhoods, their support system of friends and family now scattered across the country, including Holly's best friend.
So for her to not be here now and not to be able to deal with it together, it's very hard.
FEMA has given the Brockmans 18 months to get back on their feet and find a new place to live. Their temporary home, while short on space, does have running water, sewage, electricity, even a makeshift post office. But finding a new permanent place to live, that's the top priority.
Makes you want to get down on your knees and beg God to open up a door for you, just so you can have something you can call home again. How long is that going to be?
Is that one of the biggest things for you, is finding a permanent place to call home?
Absolutely. I want that more than anything in the world. I want my kids to be able to go in the backyard and get on the playground and be able to play and, get out and go in the front and ride their bicycle when they want to. But they can't.
Did you change that picture?
Yeah.
For now, the family makes do with the space they do have.
That's pretty.
Just grateful to be alive.
We're all still together, and everybody made it safely through the storm. That's when it comes down to it, that's what matters.
But families across the Panhandle want the rest of Florida and America to remember the disaster of Hurricane Michael is still far from over, and the recovery is just beginning.
just don't forget it's going to take a long time, and have patience with us. It's hard. It's hard to figure everything out and how to pay for things and how to fix things. And
I know there's people from all over the United States that have come and helped and, you know, put up power lines and taken down trees, you know, but man, we need you guys to come back. We need some help.
The Brockmans say one of the area's biggest needs is for the rebuilding of affordable housing. Right now, there is a shortage of workers due to all of that damage. And while big companies like AT&T and Verizon have crews in place working on their own infrastructure, many families are on their own when it comes to cleaning up debris or making repairs on their own property. A new umbrella organization has been established to coordinate recovery efforts locally. If you'd like to help, the United Way of Northwest Florida is collecting funds. Be sure to direct your donation to the Bay County Long-Term Disaster Recovery Organization, and the collected money will go towards helping families clear debris and repair their homes. We've posted a list of other vetted organizations accepting donations as well.